Hey YouTube, it's Faye, and for today's video, I'm going to answer a bunch of questions that I got in one of my previous videos, which was featuring the hole that I cut in the trunk of my Mark III Supra to install my little cover. This is one of my prototypes, is actually going to be shipped out to a customer, so you can see how I molded it and everything. It's totally the shape of the trunk. But the question actually wasn't about this. The question that I kept on repeatedly getting was, how the heck did I make those incredible little threaded inserts so that I could bolt this down into place? So today I'm going to show you that tool. Super easy, Rivnut Tool. And it's one of those tools where now that I have it, I have no idea what I ever did without it. And I see every single hole now as a potential for threads. It's amazing. So there's really only two ways that I see people mess up with this tool. And the first is just not choosing the proper drill bit size to pre-drill the hole prior to inserting the NUTSERT. And then really the only other problem I see is people not anticipating the thickness of the material for the NUTSERT correctly enough, because there is a certain thickness per the type of NUTSERT you buy. So I'm gonna be going over both of those today and showing you how to use the tool, how I use the tool, and yeah, so hopefully you will go out and use this tool with confidence. So let's get right into it. So here's my Rivnut tool. It's a little shiny. I will link it in the description below. I've had this for about 3 years now, and I honestly bought it because it was cheap and because of the good reviews, but I've been using it hard and I really have no complaints about it. Now up here you can see that I wrote myself some notes, and then eventually I just found this online and printed it out. I'm actually gonna hold it right there for a second so you can screenshot this if it's helpful. I wish I could zoom in, but I broke my camera. So we're in no zoom mode right now, but there's your chance to take a screenshot. It comes with all of these little mandrels. They start out life gray. These are ones I've replaced because I've stripped them or broken them. This one is one I use a lot, the M5. And then the M10 I've used a bunch. So the first thing you're gonna wanna do prior to drilling anything or using this tool at all is figure out what size fastener you wanna use. For the sake of this video, I'm gonna choose an M6 bolt, which is one of the sizes that I used on my fuel tank cover. And then I'm gonna come over here, it's a little guide that I wrote out for myself, and I'm gonna see that I need a 9mm drill bit. So I'll go ahead and get that prepared. M6 is a size I use frequently, so I actually have a whole set of 9mm drill bits for exactly this purpose. Wait a second, Faye, how do I know what size my bolt is? Especially if it's loose in a drawer like yours. Ah, that's a great question. One thing you can do is you can take the little NUTSERTs that come in the kit, and I obviously moved mine into another bag, but you'll get some that will come in the kit and they're all pre-labeled. So you can always just double check and make sure that you have the right size and thread pitch by just threading it in, and verify that it does thread all the way in and that it fits, right? That's super simple. There's also a tool that you can get that will show you what size your bolt is. So I've got one that's plastic and it has a bunch of holes in it and a bunch of different sizes, and I'll just put the bolt through the tray and see which one fits. And then I also have this cool tool here that just verifies your thread pitch. So you're gonna take your bolt and place it along the teeth and look up to the light and make sure that you can't see any light through it, and that every single one of the threads in your bolt lines up with every single one of the teeth on the tool. All right, so now we know that we've got an M6 bolt. We're satisfied with the bolt that we chose and the length, and we're happy with it. And we've got our 9mm drill bit. So let's talk about material. There are a bunch of different lengths and sizes and types of material that NUTSERTs come in. This type is my personal favorite. I got it out of this kit, which I will link below. And it is a carbon steel with a zinc plate. And these are this is a softer material than the stainless steel, which has a different look to it. And this is very hard. I do not recommend using this style in this Rivnut tool with the mandrels that come with it, because the mandrels are not strong enough. The threads on the mandrel, unfortunately, are just no match for the strength of the stainless steel. So that's how I actually damaged the threads on this, trying to use one of these harder stainless ones. If you look closely at the top half, or closer to the hat of this Rivnut, you'll see there are little lines there. That's the part that's gonna crumple. Now you wanna choose material that is thin enough that will allow that section to crumple enough so that it's about the size of the head there. So you don't wanna choose a material that is, like when you go to insert it, that is about that thick, because then you have like zero crumple. Now for this style of NUTSERT, I don't like to use anything like wood or plastic or carbon fiber or plexiglass or anything like that. Like I wouldn't put this in a bumper. Now there is something different that I would use for a bumper. Now in the last video that I uploaded onto my channel, I showed you how I made this Home Depot lip, and I just pre-drilled the holes and put some screws in there. Well, this is a fantastic proof of concept, but now that I'm happy with it, I do want to make something more permanent. So if you're looking for a way to add threading or a way to properly secure a fastener to something like this with a soft bumper material and of course a soft rubber lip, I recommend something like this, where you're able to take a screw of some sort. We got, you know, pointy screws or flat screws. And like, this is just a whole kit that I got on Amazon. Use a bunch of different ones of these for different applications. So you got some fatter ones, you got some thinner ones, but something like this. These also come in plastic. This right here, this style is what you see on like a lot of Toyota fender liners. So this is actually something like what I plan on using to properly secure the Home Depot lip now that I'm happy with the way that it looks. But anyway, we're not talking about plastic right now. We're talking about NUTSERTs. Here is a piece of material. It's actually from my car. So this is very similar to the type of thickness you may be using to do a job like this. And we can see that this hole is smaller than the hole that we need to drill for the NUTSERT. You can see that I already did prep my drill with a smaller drill bit to drill a pilot hole, but we won't be needing that since this piece already has a pilot hole in it. But of course you do want to make sure that you drill a pilot hole. And we're going to use our 9mm drill bit. Now let's talk about thickness though real quick. So look at the thickness of this material. And here we go. Once again, I'm gonna hold up the Rivnut to it. So you can see we've got the smooth part here, and then this part has these little lines in it. The lined parts are the parts that are gonna collapse. So you wanna make sure that the material we're going into is not so thick that we won't be able to crunch up this piece to the point where it can create a little bellow, a little bubble like this top lip here that will actually hold it into place. Next, I'm gonna go in with my little deburring tool. Now this step is important because you don't want anything on there. You don't want to take off too much material. This is just to remove any burrs that might be left over from the material that you're drilling into. This is important because you've got to have a nice smooth surface for that Rivnut to actually grip onto. Right here especially, you can see I've got some undercarriage liner on here, which I do have underneath the entire body of my vehicle. That is sticking out. We want it nice and flat. Nice. Okay, that looks good. Now I'm going to turn this back around so the side that's facing me is the way that I want the bolt to be inserted into the Rivnut. And I'm going to grab my little Rivnut, make sure it goes in there nice, and look at how much we have sticking out on the back side. So this is a great fitment. Now I'm going to thread my NUTSERT down onto the mandrel. I'm going to open up its little legs there and screw it all the way down, place it in, and push forward pressure. So I'm going to keep pressure. I'm not going to let it slide back on me. I'm going to keep forward pressure as I squeeze. And sometimes, depending on the material thickness, you'll have to screw it in again, open up its little legs, screw it in again, and squeeze again. Then we unthread it, and there we go. That's literally it. Now we have a way to thread a fastener into this material and fasten it to whatever we want to, or fasten something else to it. So now, the next question you're probably asking is, Faye, what if I don't have an M6 mandrel already on my Rivnut gun? Or what if I want a different size? What a great question. So here is how you change mandrels. In the toolkit, you will get this handy little wrench, and in each one of these little mandrel containers, you will get the collar, I think that's what that's called, and oh, this one, you can tell that I use that one a little bit too aggressively. That one is stripped, and they have a bunch of different sizes, different thread pitches. So on your tool, you've got this little collar here that slides down, so it'll lock it into place. Once that's up, that will not move. So that actually locks this piece into place. So I'm gonna release this collar, then I can unscrew this. And all of these have the same thread pitch on the bottom that are made for this tool specifically. So we'll set that aside, then pulling that collar down once again, just screwing it in by hand. You do not have to tighten this very tight at all, but you do have to line this upper part up. All right, we got to zoom in a little closer for this one. So if I pull that all the way down, I basically lined up the flat spot on that nut with the flat spot on the nut in there so that this little sleeve thing can pop back up and lock it into place. And then, see how that sort of connects everybody. If you don't line it up, then this little sleeve isn't going to go up. So you just line them up and then it locks into place. Very, very self-explanatory. Then, lastly, you just put its little guide thing on. I really don't know the proper names of all these little parts, but you get the idea. All right, so tightened all the way down. And now we have successfully swapped out our mandrel and we are good to go. Yeah, so that's how you do it. Let me know down in the comments if you have any further questions about this. I'm happy to show you more about this tool. It is one of my absolute favorite tools. And then once again, just to hit on materials, as far as what I like to put my Rivnut into, really only like aluminum and steel. I do not like to put a Rivnut into wood or plastic or carbon fiber or fiberglass or anything like that. And then as far as the actual Rivnuts go, I'll just link in the description below a few of the different kits that I've purchased over the years. I do not like the stainless steel ones. They're a little bit too hard and they'll tend to destroy the mandrels on that particular tool. So I just use like the regular like carbon steel. This is just like a zinc plated one that I bought in like one of my many kits. So yeah, all right. Thank you so much for watching this video and thanks for the questions that prompted this video. And I'll see you in my next video. All right, bye.
Show it.